Tech Talk with Eddie and Ralph, your live help and solution center for YouTube and related tech. Please come in and enjoy the demonstration. Ask any questions you have about the demonstration or any tech-related question. We are here to help you and do this to help you. No question is dumb, and we will do what we can to keep it simple. Thank you. We will be starting soon. All right, everybody, welcome in to Tech Talk with Eddie and Ralph. As you would see on the thumbnail, we will be talking about how to make shapes in Davinci.
Eddie, I think you might be a little bit low on your volume. Or I'm hearing you low anyway, and the video was fine. But Gary says you're always low. Terry says it's your mic. Your mic should be fine. I do know. Anyway, hope everybody's had a good week.
Hello? Am I low?
That's a little better. You can be a little higher.
I don't know what else to do. Everything's turned up all the way. Gains up all the way. Everything in EV Mux is turned up all the way. In voice mod is turned up all the way. Yep. Everything's there is turned up.
Okay, Gary says it sounds fine now. Yeah, you're a little bit louder. Yeah, I can always turn the volume in my headphones up too, so I can hear you though.
And wavelength is turned up all the way. And my on the PC's turned up all the way. Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what else I can turn up.
because everything's maxed.
Yeah, I can hear you better now. And like I said, a couple people said you were sounding good now.
Oh, wait a minute. My input device is way down.
Aha.
Is that better? Too loud now? Hello? Can you hear me?
It sounded about the same to me.
Well, now it's up at 100% on the volume on the input microphone. Now everything's maxed out.
As long as everybody else can hear you, we're good. Because I can hear you well enough. So it's more about the guys out there that can hear you instead of me.
Hello. Hold on.
He's checking everything.
Well, that ain't got nothing to do with it because it's my Yeti, not my headset mic.
Right.
It's not no delay tactic. Everybody says. I don't know.
Maybe bring your mic down a little because it seems when you're pointed up towards your mic.
It's where it's always has been. It's right here, like 10 inches from my mouth. It's right
Right there.
Right there.
Okay. Like I said, I can hear you if everybody on
hold on.
If everybody
can, I'm gonna have a crash here or something.
Uh-oh. Don't do that.
Watch.
So long as everybody on YouTube can hear you fine, we're good. So
what's that on? What is it caught on? It's caught on something.
Don't pull too hard on something.
I just lost it.
What?
There. There. My mic's right here. Can you hear me?
Yep. Now you're overdriving it.
Oh my gosh.
No, you're good. I mean, it's fine, but
whatever.
Jerry says yes, so much better.
Whatever. I don't care. Ralph, you talk. I'll just sit here and look pretty.
Now we know that's not going to happen on both sides. Anyway, so back to where you were.
Oh, I don't remember.
You were talking about what we're going to, or what I'm going to talk about, or what we're going to talk about, or whatever.
How to make shapes in Davinci.
That's right. This was not really a request, but it's something that Jerry asked me about on how to do because he had something that he wanted to put an arrow on. And there's several ways to do this, but we're going to do that.
Did that work? Nope. I guess not.
Nope. I'm about the same.
Hold on.
But again, it just may be me too. I don't know. Jerry said yes, but I don't know to what. So yeah, also the shapes that we're going to make, we're going to make them so that you can reuse them, so that you don't have to recreate them in every project that you are in. There's a few different ways to do it. So we'll just, easiest way is what is called power bins in Davinci. We'll just touch on that like
Mm.
real quick and just show you how to dump these in there. So, shall we jump right into it, or shall we just yak for a bit?
Welcome in, everybody. Oh, if you don't
Welcome to
mind,
anybody or whatever. So,
if you don't mind, the spotlight channel on my channel of the week this week was Jerry Butler Family Farm. Congratulations, Jerry. You finally made it.
you've hit the big time.
You guys. He called me that one. What?
Real quick.
What am I missing in chat? Yeah, that's at Butler Family Farm 2005. If you're not currently subscribed to Jerry at Butler Family Farm, oh, I got to skip Jerry because it's a Tech Talk week. Sorry, Jerry, you're not spotlighted anymore. Per Jamie.
Hey, nobody said we couldn't do that on Tech Talk weekends. We can spotlight a channel and then continue on. That's no big deal.
I think she's messing with Jerry, though.
Could be. I'm just covering my own butt here. Anyway, so we'll jump into this. You see a lot, especially in a lot. I've seen this in a lot of shorts lately, but there, in a lot of times you want to either put a circle or an arrow or something to maybe highlight something in your video or in a still. And there's ways you can do it in Davinci without having to go download a circle graphic from somewhere or whatever you want. You can pretty much make any kind of shape that you want in Davinci. You do it in Fusion, but it's like one of this. Actually, this is a really good introduction to working in Fusion a little bit because it's pretty simple to do. So what we'll do is we'll jump over here into Davinci. Okay, I've already started a project. This is just Davinci Shapes 2. You can see it at the top, and I just have a little section of video in here. So, like I said, we're going to use Fusion to do this. There's a couple of different ways you can bring in a Fusion composition. You can do it down here and just drag it over here. If you do that, you don't get a choice to name it. So what I like to do is up here in my media pool is right click and do new Fusion composition. So here I can give it a name. And right now we're going to make a circle. So I will call this circle. Set your frame rate, do whatever you want to with it. And I'll just go to create. And now I have a circle here. And I will just drag it down into my timeline. And it's nothing there. It's because it's Fusion and we haven't made anything in Fusion yet. So I click on it, right click, open in Fusion page. This is Fusion. This is where you can do all kinds of crazy stuff. This media out, that's what's going out to the edit page. What we want to do is come over here to Tools and come down to Shapes. We need two things. We're making a circle, so we need an ellipse. And we need an S render, S ellipse and S render. The reason you need this render, these are called nodes, is that your media out is basically a bitmap and this is a vector. So what this render does is it takes this vector image here and dumps it out into a bitmap. That's why you need that. And then you just connect them together. Go back and click on my ellipse. Okay, we have a circle here, but it's a white big dot, giant dot, but we don't want a dot, we want a circle. So to get that, all you do is you come up here and tell it not to be solid, and you move your border up a little bit. Oh, come on. Right there is a good one. And if you want to change your color, you can come over here on the style and pick your color. Everybody loves a red circle, so we'll go with the red circle. That's it. You're done. That's really about how simple it is. So if you come over here and you play your fusion clip, it's 5 seconds of a circle. Okay, so great. What can you do with it? All right, we'll move him up here. We'll bring this in. We've used this clip before many times, but it works for what I want. Okay, so
I
now
think
I
I've
have
seen that clip before.
yeah, I've used this before. I've used this several times. It works for good. It's a good piece of demo footage for a lot of things that I do. For some, I don't know why it just works well for what I want to do.
He likes the beach and the water.
Yeah, I do. So anyway, all we got to do to move it around is zoom in over here. Actually, and the easier way to do this, here, let me reset that. You can do it over here in the inspector just by sliding these. An easier way to do it is over here is to turn on this there's different things you can do here. So normally it sits here at this transform. If you turn this on, now you have your standard, resize and all that good stuff. So I'll bring it down and make it smaller. Let's say I wanted to highlight her head, whatever. And then I'll just make it a little bit smaller. And then you turn that off and it's gone. Now, if I play this, actually, I should have started that back here, but that's okay. The thing is, when you set that, it's not going to follow her head. Okay. As she moves and jumps up and down and runs and stuff, it does not follow her head. We can make it do that, and I'll show you that later. That's a little bit advanced, but right now we're just kind of working with shapes. So that's how you make a shape. It is really that simple. Now there's a whole bunch of different kinds of shapes you can make. So let's go make an arrow. And when we get back in here, we're just going to call him arrow. You'll notice I did the same thing. I'm sorry if I'm going too fast, please tell me to slow down. So I'm going to do an arrow, and I'm going to bring him over here, drop him right there, come back into the open in Fusion page. And now I basically have the same thing. Just going to go back over here to my tools, come down to my shapes, come down and get my render node. Okay, we're doing an arrow here. Okay, this one is a little more complicated because if you notice, there is not an S arrow here. So we can make an arrow very easily with a star and a rectangle. And I'll show you how, because we will change the star to be a three-pointed star, and a three-pointed star is a triangle. So amazing how this will work. So we need our render, which I said we needed, and we're going to take two things and merge them together to create one thing. So we need an S merge. And we need our rectangle. And we need our star. So what we will do is we'll connect all this stuff together. Except I don't want you there. I want you there. Hey, get over there. Thank you. I'm working this on a small screen. I'm used to working this on my large monitor. Okay, so there's actually a star and a rectangle there. So we'll come over here to our rectangle and we'll change how wide he is. We'll make him a box like that. Okay, so that'll be basically the shaft of my arrow. I'm moving him over here to be more in the middle. Now we'll take our star, go up here, change him to be a three-sided star. This is another way to size things in here. Bring him down so he looks a little bit more normal there. Just bring him over there. I don't know if you noticed what I was doing there. When you want to move something in just one direction, instead of grabbing the dot, which will let you notice how it goes to 2, they both go white. If you just grab on 1, it'll just let you move it in that direction or up and down in a straight line. It helps when you draw. So there is an arrow. Now, the one thing, there's a little, it's not a cheat, it's just a tip. If I wanted to change the color of this, with this, I would have to go in here and change both of these, which is not hard, it's just 2 things. But if I kind of do a little workaround here, if I come up here and grab a background, and I'll drop him right here. Normally you would put a background over here because it's behind everything, but this is a different way to use a background node. Whoops. In there. So now we turn black because our background node is black. If I come up here and change this to red, now it changed both of them at the same time. It's just a tip to create your arrow. All right. So now if we come back over here to the edit page, now we have this big giant arrow over here. So we'll do the same things. Come back over here and turn this on. So let's go back to the beginning here. Oops. Beginning right there anyway. So let's say I want to have it pointing down at somebody. Come over here and change our rotation angle. That'll be -90 to be pointing down at somebody. Oops, too far, too fast. Yeah, we'll just point at him this time. That's how you can do it. So to jump back over here for a second, never remember where that thing is. So if you notice over here, you've got different things you can do. An n-gon will be like a hexagon, and you can make it as many sides as you want. Instead of doing like on the circle where I did the solid and then change the border size, you can just add an outline to it. But I believe in using as few nodes as possible when I make things. So to me, I can just click off the solid and raise that border width. So it does the same thing. You can add text nodes in here. There's transforms. There's all kinds of stuff. A grid will make, like if you put a star or a circle or something, if you run it into a grid before you render it, you can make it duplicate it number of times and stuff in a grid. So there's all kinds of stuff you can do here. Let me go back over here so I can get back on the simple one. So just to show you some of these, so rectangle is, well, I showed you rectangle on the other one. But if you want to do a rectangle, it's just that. It's just a rectangle, same thing. Change your colors there, size, you know. You can make a diamond by taking this and just doing that to it. I'm very bad at drawing. But anyway, you get the idea. You can play with it and get it same size on everything. So rectangle, what else we got? Oh, stars. Stars are pretty cool. Okay, so we did the same thing. Okay, so when you put a star in, it starts out with 6-sided star. You can make this as much as you want, a 5-sided star. Same thing if you want to maybe have the point be up.
Yeah, let's not do 5-sided. That looks like Dallas Cowboy star.
But some of the other kind of neat things you could do, you can make like a really
Dang.
like that. But then also this depth thing is pretty neat. Is if you bring this depth out, it shortens how long your spires are. So starburst type thing. And then if you turn the border width up,
Tim wants you to do a nanagon.
an end gone. Okay, I'll get to that in a second. Okay. Of course, this is messing with me. There it is. I don't know if you can see it, but that kind of rounded off the tops a little bit. Couldn't remember which one it was.
Does the offsets make like some shorter and some longer? Of the spikes?
No, it moves it.
So in order to have some longer and some shorter, you'd have to put one on top of the other.
Right. You could put 2 stars on here and kind of rotate it so that the spires were in between each other and make one set longer, one set shorter. But again, that's how a star works. You can do text here too. So that's how shapes work. And you can use these to make masks with, but it's just the shape function within Fusion. Now you will see if you look on your toolbar here in your standard toolbar, there is a rectangle and an ellipse here. These are not shape tools. I know it's a little confusing. If you notice over here, we're in our tools over here and we're doing our shapes, and all our shapes start with an S. Okay, these are actually masking tools. So if I come over here into mask, you have basically the same stuff. There is a triangle over here. Now you can create these shapes doing masking also. So there's actually 2 ways to do it. We actually did what we were doing is called the shape method. You can do this with the masking method. We kind of combined both of those ideas when we made our arrow. So I'll jump back over here. So there we go. So the way the masking works, would you let go of my stuff? It's fighting me. By putting this background here, all of this becomes a mask for the background. If I put the background over here and then merge these 2 into it, all you would see would be a black background or whatever color I had set the background to, because it's really a background. So that like I said, if I was going to do this the other way, I would take, like, if I was going to do a rectangle, I would take the rectangle and just run it into the background, and then the background into the media out. It's the same number of nodes. I just figured I would use shape nodes to do shapes with. Same thing, just two different ways. There's some different things that you can do with the masking tools that you can't do with the shaping tools. Like you can feather the edges of a rectangle or whatever you're working with so that it's fuzzy and stuff like that. But anyway, so if you're looking like maybe to do something like we have the border around the screen, if you're looking for maybe to do something like that, you would maybe want to use the masking method instead of the shape method. Here we're just looking to make circles and arrows and maybe triangles and stars to highlight things. So again, it's just your use case. So that's basically how you create shapes. Now, I was talking earlier about being able to reuse these things. 3 different ways that we're going to look at. First is power bins over here. Normally, when you first install Davinci, power bins are not going to be shown here. They're there, but they're just not turned on. What you have to do is come up here to these 3 dots, click on that, and do show power bins. Okay, I'm not going to go into a big, long, giant discussion on what power bins are. It allows you to save assets to be able to reuse them again. You're not actually saving a file. You're saving the definition of this particular asset in your database. So once you do this, when you put something in a power bin, you're not going to be able to go find a file buried somewhere that is this particular asset, this arrow, or whatever you're going to put in there. So all you do is you go in and you turn it on. You come down here and you grab, you don't have to double click on it. You just grab whatever you want and you just dump it in here. So there's the arrow and there's the circle. Now that makes these 2 shapes available to any project I'm working on. If I come down here and I go open a new project. Oh, much better to get on the right screen. So if I come over here and I start a new project, oh, come on. I'll just call it that. So now if I come down here and click on my power bins, if I do it on the right screen, then I have these available to me. So it's like a local save. Okay. So back over here. So that just makes them available to all of you, to you locally, to be able to use. Another way to do this will allow you to, let's say you know somebody else that uses Davinci and you created one of these and you'd like to send it to them. You can, if you're in Fusion, you can come up here to, Eddie, can you turn that border off, please? Because I can't see. Come up to File and Export, and then Fusion Composition. And it's going to ask for the file location. You can give it a name. This was circle, so I will call it circle, even though that's not what it's showing right now. And it's going to save a dot .comp file. And they're very tiny files, so you can attach it to an email and then send it to somebody else. And then they could just do the opposite, do file, import, fusion composition, and it'll just pull it right back in. Ooh, look, there's 2 Fs. So that's the second way to do it. The third way to do it is when you're in Fusion, you can save this as a JPEG or a PNG or whatever you want. Now, if you want the transparent background, you have to save it as a PNG because JPEG does not support transparent background. So you just right click on it, do save image. Excuse me. Come here and pick PNG, give it a name, save it. I've already done this, so it's going to say, do I want to overwrite it? Yes. Now you have a PNG file that is a red circle with a transparent background. So that's the 3 ways you could save it. Now, if you save it as a PNG, then of course you can just bring it right back. It's a picture at that point, so you just bring it in as a still and put it where you want it and do all that stuff. So I'm sorry I've not been watching chat because I've been going through this. I know I kind of covered a lot there. I got one more thing I'm going to cover, but I want to take a break because this next part is how you would have it actually follow somebody. Do I have a what tool? Yeah, I was wondering when somebody was going to ask for one of these for free.
Leave it to Jerry.
Yes, I will email you one. I'm going to email both of them to you. Actually, I think I have them out because I was playing with this. Make sure I remembered how to do this.
You can hear me, Ralph?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So, I think we're on the right screen. So that's basically shapes. And I mean, you can go in and play with the different shapes and doing it in both methods and see, what one works for you. So now I'm going to go get rid of these just so they're not in my way. Now we're going to do the hard part. It's not really hard. It's just there's a little more to this. Even though we created those up there, we're not going to use these because we're going to do all of this stuff in Fusion. So if I play this, you see her head moves up and down and does all kinds of stuff. You saw when I had the circle on it that she was jumping in and out of the circle and stuff. So what I would like to do is to have that circle track her head, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to do some tracking and then attach a circle to it so that it follows her as she bounces around. So we'll come down here and select our clip, right click, open in Fusion, and there it is. So the first thing I'm going to do is There are, you saw there's all kinds of controls and stuff and all kinds of nodes, not controls, nodes that you can put in here. What we want to put in here is a planar tracker. And the easiest way to find these nodes, if you know what they are, but we know we want a planar tracker. So we're going to hit control and space or shift and space. They both work. And we're going to type in plane and find stuff. Planar tracker. That's what we want right there. And add it. And you put it right there. I can't get my screen straight here for the second. Sorry. So the planar tracker, it's going to track whatever we tell it to. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here so that I can see her head a little bit better. And what we're going to do is we're just going to draw a mask. Now, this is not masking like you're trying to draw something to create an alpha output, to remove backgrounds and all that stuff. So you don't have to be super precise on it. You're picking a spot for it to follow, basically. So I'm just going to draw around her face. Now you'll notice when I get over here and I want to close this, it went from a crosshair to a circle. When that happens, you're going to close that loop. And that's all you want to do there. You want to make sure you're at the very beginning of your clip. So I'll click on that to make sure I'm at the very beginning. And then you're going to just back out. Oops. And then I'm going to track to the end. And it failed because I forgot to do something. Oops. Okay. We'll do that again. But first, I'm going to leave this at point. I'm going to change this to be transition, rotation, and scale. I think that's what I skipped. And then I'm going to go do the same thing. So you guys think that I always know what I'm doing? Wrong again. Double check, I'm at the beginning. Yeah, there we go. And sometimes when you're doing this tracking, sometimes you might have to play with those settings to get it to actually follow everything you want it to follow. So you saw that time with this set to just whatever it was, I think it was just transition. It stopped halfway through when she went either too far up or too far over. Anyway, we have our track. I'll come back to the beginning just so that I don't forget later. I'm going to click on this Create Planar Transform. It's going to add this node right here. This is where we're going to use to put all of our stuff together with, or connect our circle to our track. So what I'm going to do is take the output of this, drop it right there on that output, and it's going to create a merge node automatically. So now I'm going to go back over to my shapes, kind of where we were before, and I need the same two things. I need my render, and I'll just go ahead and put him into there. Maybe Now don't worry about him turning red. He turned red because I haven't put anything into the render yet. He says, I don't like that. Give him a second, and he'll put that there. We have our ellipse. Now I'm going to do one more thing that's a little abnormal here. I'm going to put a standard transform node in because I can change the size of this, but not together. You notice we don't have that little transform thing over here because we're in the Fusion page and not the edit page. I can change these one at a time, height and width, but then it's really hard to deal with my circle. Can I do it this way? Ah, I can do it this way. Okay, I'll do it this way. Just thought about this. So I'll make him smaller. And I'm going to grab it and I'm going to put it over here on her face. So now if I come back over here to edit page and we did all this correctly, the circle moves with her head. She doesn't bounce out of it. It bounces with her. That's how you do that. There's a little advanced stuff, but it's one of those things that the more you play with it, the better you get at it. Especially the planar tracker and picking out exactly what you want and getting it to actually track it. Sometimes if things go behind other things, like if she walked behind him right there, it would lose the tracking because her head disappears. I had one where a sailboat went behind another sailboat and drove me nuts. I'd actually do 2 trackings on it to get it to do right. But that's how you can have it track. And you don't have to use a shape here. If again, that could be a picture, that could be anything. But that's how you get a shape to track something. Like if again, a plane flying across the screen, maybe uh, a duck floating, swimming across whatever's moving, cars. Maybe if you had a friend that was in in a race car amongst a lot of cars, you could put an arrow on top of it and have it track it around the track or something. Again, whatever you want to do with it. Again, it doesn't have to be a circle. It could be a rectangle. You could do a rectangle and just, again, click off the solid and up the border width, and you have a rectangle or a square. You could try whatever you want to make. You could do that with the star. That's how it works. That's how you do shapes in Davinci. I'm all topped out. Anyway, like I said, this one's a little more advanced, but doing some of these little simple things like this is a good way to get acquainted with Fusion, because you can do. It's amazing what you can do in Fusion. So, what do you think, Eddie? You think you could do that now that you have the full version? Oh, and all of this that I did right here, this all works in the free version and the studio version.
Oh, cool.
So there's no restrictions in what I was doing here, even though I was doing this on my PC instead of the one behind me, which is the free version. Can I start over and go slower? Not unless you want me to lose my voice. You should have told me to slow down earlier. I gave you the chance. I know I get going sometimes. I know I do. Kind of get into a flow of things. When I did training at work, I used to, before I would get started, I would warn them. I'm like, guys, if I get going too fast, just let me know. I'll slow down. It's just something I get into a rhythm and I get going. It just happens. It's not intentional. It's not meant to leave anybody behind. So I will knock that down and we can come back.
I was like, I started to.
You're too
Wait.
slow. What are you doing?
I didn't do that. You did that. I clicked on studio mode and you made it bigger.
I know, but we don't need studio mode.
Oh, yeah, we do. I do.
Oh, okay. Tell me what you're doing.
No, I'm, hold on. Ah,
We're just comedy of errors here tonight. Anyway, I didn't think I was going to get done in time to get over here. I was watching a soccer game and it went to overtime and then it went to penalty kicks and it was like, it was a crazy, crazy, crazy game. It's like one team would score and then the other one would come back. Then the other team would score and then the other team would come back and then the other team would score. It was like 4-4 at the end. No, it was 3-3 at the end. And then they each scored in extra time. So it went into penalty kicks. And it was a few misses here, a few misses there. And it was like 10-8. They finally finished, or 10 minutes to 8. They finally finished, not 10-8 score wise. It's like, would you guys get done so I can go to this live? Gamers Effect says, hey, Devil Dog, thanks for sharing that tracking feature. But you can do some neat stuff. Again, there's multiple ways to do tracking in Davinci. That's just one of them. You can do tracking from the color page too. Like if you just want to blur something out, like a license plate or maybe somebody's face or maybe a kid's face or something like that, or their whole body, that's actually easier to do from the color page. And again, there's just, depending on what you want to do, there's more than one tool for doing things. Davinci is an amazing piece of software when you really start getting into it. And believe me, I do not claim to be an expert on this at all. A lot of this stuff I've looked at it, I've done it once or twice. I have to go back and look at tutorials myself to remind myself on how to do it. A lot of things I know you can do, that doesn't necessarily mean that I know how to do them, but I will go research it and figure it out up to a point for the most part. If people have questions, it's like when Jerry asked me about shapes, I was like, blah, 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 blah. I can't remember how to do this. I said, just go down on one for the moment. That'll be the easiest, quickest way to do it. And that works too. I'm not saying you have to do it this way, but especially since you can make them and reuse them, just dump them in a power bin and then they're always there for your use. It's like the arrow, the circle, that's no big deal. It's just a couple things, but you wouldn't want to be recreating that arrow every time you went into a project that you needed an arrow for or something like that. And you can customize that a little bit. One of the things you can do on the star is, like I said, that depth. You can bring that depth down a little bit on that three-sided star, and it will like make the edges a little bit curved. You can also use a polygon and just draw an arrow, but I'm terrible at drawing freehand, so I figured out that it make all the straight lines for me and stuff. if you use a polygon and draw it yourself, you have of course, control over all the little points, and you can rearrange, you can make the the spires a little bit bigger or smaller and make them angled and stuff like that. So you have a little bit more control. But again, since you're doing this in Fusion, you have the Fusion control, so you still can do a little bit of customization to it. Jerry wants to know if I can explain what Fusion means. Okay, let's go back over here. Got to share my screen again. Where's my screen? Oops. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that, Eddie.
That's all right.
Okay, so in Davinci, down here you have all your different pages of different things to do. Okay, so this is your edit page where you do all your editing. This is the cut page. This is a different style of editor. I prefer this. This is for doing like really rough cuts and stuff like that, kind of just throwing your project together, really, and then doing detailed edits in the edit page. I prefer just to work in the edit page. Doesn't matter which one you want. This is your media page. This is Fusion. I'll get back there in a second. This is your color page where you do color grading. You can do tracking here. There's all kinds of stuff you can do in here. This is Fairlight. This is a complete audio editor. This is your deliver page where you do your exports and create, do all your rendering and create your final outputs. So the Fusion page is right here. And what Fusion is, it's a graphics editor. It's, if anybody knows about Adobe products, it's like After Effects. So you create custom graphics, custom controls, custom stuff in here. Usually Fusion is not a beginner spot. It's always fun to get in there and play. Like I said, when I first started playing with it, all I did was go watch tutorials and just kind of mimic what people were doing just to get in there and play with it, because it's different. Again, if you're used to pretty much anything else that works on layers, this works on nodes, and they work a little bit differently. So literally on layers, that's exactly what you're doing. You're just layering one thing on top of another, and you have to get your layers in the proper order for everything to look right when you're creating graphics. The node-based system, as you saw when I was using those merges and things, that you can create multiple things at the same time and just merge them together. You don't have to worry about where they're layered. Yeah, you have to worry about where they lay in the node structure because it's left to right, but it gives you more, I don't want to say it gives you more freedom, but once you get used to it, I think it gives you a little bit more freedom in how you can put your stuff together. Layers is a very normal, common way to do things. That's how pretty much all photo editors work, graphics editors work. It's all layer based. But Fusion is node based. But it's for creating custom graphics. And that's basically what we did when we created our shapes. You just created a custom graphic for your own use. And they're actually, Fusion itself is a separate product from Blackmagic. You can buy Fusion. I think the Fusion the Fusion product that you buy has more stuff in it than what's included in here. But again, when you get Davinci, even in the free version, like I said, all this stuff works in the free version. All these panels down here, all these different they call them pages. All these different pages work in the free version. So it's not like you can't do any of this stuff just because you have the free version. But again, in the Adobe, in the Adobe way, this is a separate product. The color grading is a separate product. The audio editing is a separate product. And when you start using all of these separate products with Adobe, up and up and up goes your monthly cost. Okay, and I'm not going to get into that discussion of all that stuff, but you're getting an all-in-one program here, both free and paid version. But that's what Fusion allows you to do: create custom graphics. And pretty much limitless. Again, if anybody knows about After Effects, same idea. That's what Fusion is. Again, there's tons and tons of YouTube videos on Fusion, color grading, Fairlight, all of these different tabs in here on how to use them and what they can do for you. So like I said, when you get Davinci, when you get Davinci, either version, you're getting a full suite of programs basically in one go. And there's no way you can learn it all at one time. I'm still learning this stuff. I've been using this for 4 or 5 years now. I'm still learning how to do things. I learned how to do stuff at the very beginning, and it's kind of hard to break my habits of how I do things. But I'm finding easier ways to do things as I use this more and more. But again, with Davinci, don't expect to get it and just learn everything that you can do all in like a weekend or a week or something like that. Take it slow, take the time to get in and play with it and learn it. And you'll be very happy with it. So what else have I missed here? I hope that explains what Fusion can do.
Okay, now I want to go real quick, Ralph, to there's also something else that I would like to show. Me and Jerry was actually doing this earlier. He had called me, and give me 1 second. Wrong thing. He had actually called me and asked me a question. So we were actually going through it, and I don't know if this is the paid version or a paid version and free version. Maybe you know, Ralph, maybe you don't. But give me 1 second, and I want to share something. It's probably on the paid version. You see this sound library right up here, Ralph?
Yes.
Do you know about that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, me and Jerry didn't. And Jerry asked me about it. And so one of the things that I told him is Davinci, the studio mode, it's paid, right, for this sound library?
No, I think you can get that with the free version too.
Okay.
It's a separate download.
Yeah, and I went to I did the download, and I would recommend, because you have to actually know what's on there or what you're looking for. Yes. To actually find something, okay? So wherever you put your sound effects, your music, whatever, you got to know whether it's a local database or Fairlight and where you put it so you can actually search. Because if I was looking for a dog barking and I type dog, well, there is something that dog with a ball, that's music, but I tried that earlier before I added the music one, and nothing came up. Right. But like on the sound effects, and I don't think I shared sound, so I don't think you'll be able to hear it, but you would click on it and play it. Whoops. Play it.
Yeah,
I don't know if you
hear it.
Yeah, so I didn't share sound. Let me get out of here and I'll try it again.
Yeah, and
Share
all
screen.
these sound effects that comes with the sound library, they're all free.
Okay, let's see if you can hear it now. All right.
Nope.
Nope, couldn't hear it.
I
Let me
can't
see
hear
what
it. I
it's.
don't know if everybody on.
I'm
YouTube
sure
can
they
hear it.
can't. Let's see what it's. Let's see what it's playing on over here. It's not playing on nothing. Because I don't have it added to Wavelink. But anyways, then all you would do is you'd take, if you like the sound, you know, you could scroll through these by clicking on the next one or just clicking on it here. And then whatever sound effect you would like playing, you just take it and drag it over here to your thing. And there you go. So that's something me and Jerry learned earlier with the sound library. So if you have a actual folder with if you have an actual folder with your music or something, it'll pull it right, you know, you add that folder to there to local and it'll pull it right in. You can just do a search and stuff like that. Right?
Yep.
You have anything to say about that, Ralph?
Nope. That's how you do it. Davinci is pretty good about helping you do stuff. So, like when you download it, it kind of helps you along and where on what to do and stuff. So it's really not that difficult.
Let me give you this: if you're a paid, if you're monetized on YouTube, I'll show you this real quick. You can actually go into your YouTube studio and over here on Creator Beta Music, you can click on that and you can actually go through and search for music, and you can look for free stuff, and you can actually there is where you can browse music. You can put the genre, the mood, the vocals, the beats per minute, the length, the license duration, and the price. So it's got like a little scrolling wheel if you just want to go free and apply. And so then you see everything over here is free. You can download this stuff to a file on your computer, and or if you have a paid service, like what's the paid service, Ralph?
Epidemic Sound is one of them.
Yeah,
That's
Epidemic's probably one of the best ones. And you can download the stuff, put it in a file on your computer, and then when you search and bring stuff up to put it on in your video editor.
In your editor, yep. There's all kinds of places to get assets from.
Hey, Ann. Thank you, Ann. I appreciate that. Thank you, Peter.
Yes.
Hey, gamers. Long time no see, brother. Not a problem. If y'all have any questions, you can always email me or Ralph.
Yep.
I haven't seen gamers in a while, man. Good to see you, gamers.
Don't guarantee you will know the answer, but you can email us.
Yep. That's true, gamers. Why does Jerry keep asking, Ralph, can you explain what fusion means? Or is my thing jumping? Eddie, show my question.
No, that was before. That was from before.
Oh, okay.
You're behind.
Behind. Well, I kept scrolling down and it kept asking it. I said he already has.
Yeah, you only get one explanation.
Hey, Annie.
One explanation per.
I don't have no sound, Ralph?
No, I didn't say that. I only
No, they're
said,
saying it. They're
oh,
saying I
no,
don't have no sound.
I can hear you.
Hello. My mic's going up.
Gary says he can hear you.
Oh, okay. I must be way there. Okay, I'm not way behind no more. I scrolled down.
Just scroll down.
What's up, Robert? T-Rock's Vittles and such is in here. I know I am, Des.
If you missed anything.
She called me fine. Oh, well, maybe there was a reason for that, Jerry.
I thought I heard you when you were doing that. Anyway.
Anybody have any questions?
About anything. It doesn't have to be about what we were just talking about. It can be about anything. You know, somebody that was testing EV Mux the other night was saying that it didn't show you how many people were in your live, but it does.
Yeah, it does. 18
Right there
right
at the
now.
top.
Yep, at top right hand side. I think people just don't know about it, or they're not used to it.
Well, that's just it. They're not used to it, and they're again, and you get used to using whatever software you're using, and it's hard to change because things are in a different place. And I believe me, I understand it. You wouldn't believe the pain we used to go through at work when we would like upgrade from Windows 7 to Windows 10. Oh my gosh. Because I mean, we literally had people that if you moved an icon from one side of their screen to the other, you would be getting a call in the morning about, I can't find this to get my program open. And be like, look on the other side of the screen. How to get over there? They moved it. But yeah, so I believe me, I understand. It's hard to switch because you get used to doing things without thinking about it, like looking where the little thing is to tell you how many people are in there, going to click on go live without really thinking about where the button is and stuff like that. When you use a piece of software for a long time, you do stuff by rote. You don't think about what you're doing. So it's hard to break that, especially the eye movement part of it, knowing where things are on a screen that you're not really consciously thinking about it. You glance at stuff without you even really realizing that you're doing it.
Yeah, it's kind of like chat being on the right to chat being on the left now.
Yeah, it is.
And if you notice, that's probably the join button, gamers. If you're clicking on it,
Yeah.
it's taking you to the membership page.
Yes,
That's
what
probably
that
to
is.
join the membership. You're probably subscribed to me,
Yep.
but you're not a member of the channel, so that's probably the join button. And if you notice, Ralph, I moved my camera from over here to up top, and I guess it's okay, but because I'm looking over here now all the time,
Yep.
instead of seeing the side of my face.
Well, that's why I'm always saying that I get confused on what screen that I'm on because my main monitor is in front of me. My second monitor is really off to my right. So if I'm working over there, I'm actually looking this direction instead of at you guys. So when I share the screen, I try to have my mouse on this screen that's over here, but yet I'm working and looking at the screen in front of me. So that's why I'm saying it's small, and that's why it's hard for me to do stuff sometimes because what'd you do?
I don't know that. I guess that the on my on my Stream Deck, the camera button, I guess, switches between different feeds. I hit it. I had to hit it several times before it came back.
Yeah, it does.
It said Droid Cam and it said other stuff, and then finally it came back.
Yeah.
Because I'm on. Yep, there. My mute button works fine. Hide show. Oh, it was that one. I pushed the wrong one. I pushed the camera, the previous on the camera. Maybe I need to set up different cameras.
Well, yeah, you could switch between.
Comment, show hide. Nope. Oh, yeah, there they are. Hey. Nope, that wasn't it. Oh, hoorah, Barry. Storms, Radios, and Cats. How you doing? Nicole? Good to see you. Bat? Des celebrates 31 months of membership.
Don't. Okay. We don't have that popped out. That's why I'm not seeing what's going on.
What is that?
I'm talking incoherently to myself. I'm good at that. I didn't have the YouTube chat popped out, so it's like I'm not seeing those things.
So I guess nobody has any questions.
Doesn't look like it.
We got 23 people in here. Let's do a giveaway. No, I don't want to play a game. Maybe I should go to the studio mode, huh, Ralph? Let's do that. And then let me get it set up. We'll go to this scene, I guess.
Yeah, so this is basically what studio mode is made for. Is Eddie's setting up a game, a contest in the background while you guys can't see it, so that he's not interrupting what's going on the stream and everything. It's the advantage of studio mode. It's being able to do stuff on the fly and not interrupt your panel or your whatever you're going on.
Yeah, I just should have did that before, huh?
Good app. But when you got more than one people up here, you can have one person talk like me and you can build whatever you want. Is there a free similar program like StreamYard? Just about all of these streaming services have a free level. EVMUC, they all do. What you can do on those different ones is, they vary from each one to each one. There's this, what we're using now, EVMUX. There's Restream seems to be pretty popular among people that are kind of fed up with StreamYard. I've heard that they're trying to make people pay for stuff that they didn't used to have to pay for. And I heard somebody else say that the sound quality on it's been just not good. And yeah, they've raised their rates, so don't know. But it seems to be a problem with a lot of these a lot of the online services, doesn't really matter what they are, that they like to throw new features out and then throw them behind a paywall, or just they get everybody using it and then all of a sudden they do a big price hike, or they change what they're doing and stuff. It just seems to be their mode of operation. Yes, Jerry is correct with that. In StreamYard, if you're on the free version, you're only at 720p, and with EVMux, it's 1080, and it does make a difference. But again, you have to go to each one's page and look at their pricing, and either like print out the screen or something where you can put them all next to each other. And again, sign up for the free version. I know everybody hates to sign up for multiple things, but it's kind of, if you really want to compare them, you kind of have to do it. Sign up for a free one, see what it does, see what the limitations on the free one are, because some of them, the limitations on the free one are not really worth it. And just the way they work, what each one works and what works for you, because the features on one may be important to some people and may not be important at all to other people. So it's really a personal thing on what you want your piece of software to do, but there's many out there. Jump over here for a second. Close this. I did have a list of these somewhere.
List of what?
Okay, there's a list.
Oh.
Of. Can you see that? Yeah. Nope. Sorry, guys. I'm just kind of all over the place here tonight. So you got StreamYard, you got Talk Studio, which is by Streamlabs. You got Restream. You got EVMux, and then you have Riverside. Riverside is really more on the professional side and really geared towards podcast and recording podcast, but it is a player out there. But those are kind of the main ones that will let you do, like, have panels and stuff. Of course, there's OBS and Streamlabs Desktop and all that other stuff that you can do other things with, but those won't let you do a panel. So those are the big players. There's always some new ones coming and going and stuff like that. These are the major players right here. And again, there's always ones that pop up and go away. Like there's a new, I will say, OBS type competitor called Meld that a lot of people kind of like and stuff. Again, I don't knock any of these. Yeah, you kind of have to just try them all out to see what goes on. Is that the screen you wanted up there?
Yeah. All right. Jamie will decide what you get, what the winner gets. And so she will send something out probably next Saturday. And so why do we have three? Jerry's the only one that's entered so far.
Yeah.
I see Jerry's name. Let's spin now. That way Jerry wins.
That's funny.
There we go.
There's Simon.
Jerry and Simon.
So yeah,
okay,
all of this different types of software, you have to just kind of go play with it and see. And I know that's very time consuming. And I know I say that as a retired person who can sit around and do this kind of stuff, but if you have something you want me to check out for you, I will be glad to check it out because I kind of enjoy doing this kind of stuff.
I'm not changing.
No, this is only your third one, so
Yeah, but I like.
I mean,
this
that's
one.
just it. We really didn't have a problem with Talk Studio as far as the operation of it. It worked fine. Just some of the support issues were not good, and there was just
Mm-hmm.
when I looked at this, it was like, wow, we can do the contest and everything from right inside of here. We don't have to go pull anything from anywhere else or any of that stuff, and just kind of more of the types of things that we wanted to be able to do without having to have like 15 different tabs up in Chrome to do this contest or that contest or whatever. So that's why I say you kind of have to look at each one and see what works for you. Some people don't care about being able to run these contests, so this, that's not of interest to them to be easy to do and stuff. But
Well, this one has. Here's the thing. If you're into the duck races and stuff, you can still use it on. You can use it on any platform.
yeah,
If this one right here has a wheel that you can do in different ways, and it has the hashtag, and so this has multiple ways to do giveaways as well.
right.
And there is a wheel of names on the duck races page as well, if you decide to do that way.
Yeah, there's lots of different websites for doing these contests on. I can't remember the one that I've used before that's got multiple things on it. I think I've shown it before, but this is all right in EV Mux. It's just a widget that you add to a scene, and that, I mean, just tell it what you want, and it runs.
Easy peasy.
Yeah, it's the ease of being able to do it all within a single program and not have to. Okay, let me see. I got to go pull up the deck races on the screen over here and all that other stuff. It's all right within the same program. So again, ease of use. But again, if it's not something you're interested in doing, then it doesn't mean anything to you.
Jamie, Annie wants to know if Canadians can win this as well. That's a question for Jamie. So I will wait for her to answer that, Annie. I'm sure she can come up with something, Annie, but I'm waiting for her to answer. Jamie? Okay. Yes, Annie, you can. Here's the thing. If a Canadian wins, or an Australian, we are not going to mail out a big box or a mug or something that shipping cost $100 for. However, there is something small that would fit in an envelope that she could get away with a couple of international stamps. So yes, if you win, and that's another reason I say, okay, it's on Jamie, because she makes the stuff. So you can most definitely join, and she'll find something to send you out. And like I said, maybe something small, unless you have an American, because some Canadians have American post office boxes or whatever. Scott, Rambling with the Brums, and there's some other people too. So it has been 1 hour and 29 minutes. We're fixing to draw this. Just put it in my PayPal. Funny, Annie. Gary, are you going live, or is anybody going live after me? Because we are fixing to draw this, and then we will end it, I guess, because I ain't got nothing else. You got anything else, Ralph?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay.
Gary says he
I
thinks
think I am. I think I am. What do you mean? Have you got it set up? Have you got it set to redirect yet, Gary, or anything? Oh, Gary does have one set up.
Yeah,
Okay.
he did. Yeah, I had,
Did you do the redirect, Gary, on my channel? Because y'all can stay right where you are in the YouTube world, and when I end this, it'll automatically kick you over to Gary's if he's already set up. Oh, it's on EV Mux. Cool. He does have the redirect set up. Okay, good. And did you make me a mod, Gary, so I could like go in on EV Mux or what? He monetized my life. Well, thank you, Gary, buddy. Good night, Bat. Did you enter, Bat? Come on, Bat. You can enter, bro. I don't see Bat's name. Come on, Bat. Hashtag Tech Talk. Okay. Jamie says spin, Eddie, spin. So here we go.
here we go.
I'm waiting on Bat. Bat, enter. Hurry up. Okay, Gary, we'll be right there. Come on, Bat. Enter, Bat. I want to see Bat's name up here. Bat, come on. Waiting on you, Bat. Bat. Okay. I don't know if Bat's going to do it.
There it is.
Right.
There it is.
All right. He did it? You seen it?
Yeah, it's in the YouTube chat.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
There
it
he
is
goes.
in the YouTube chat too.
All right. As soon as I see Bat's name come up on this wheel, on this thing, I'm gonna spin. Taco on tour with Radio Jonesy. Arlene, the Moose, not alphabetical order. Gamers. Bat. There we go. And the winner is Bat 13. Congratulations, Bat. That was cool. All the little confetti and stuff against the black background and stuff. That was cool. Anyways, Bat, email Jamie at devildogskeeper@gmail.com. I thought I had her thing up there. Anyways, it's not up there. But anyways, Bat, devildogskeeper@gmail.com, and she will get you something out. And until next time, from Tech Talk with Eddie and Ralph, we will see you next Saturday, Day with the Dog. Till then, Semper Fi.
Everyone have a good one. See ya.